All right, fourth graders, today we're going to be doing pages 407 and 408, and we're going to be talking about angles of a triangle and different types of triangles. So let's start by reading at the top. So right here, it says the prefix tri means 3. So it's easy to remember that a triangle has 3 angles, just like a tricycle has 3 wheels. Triangles can take their name from the kind of angle that they have. Okay, so just like we talked about a right angle the other day, we're going to talk about a right triangle. Okay, right here in the yellow. A right triangle has one right angle, which we show by drawing that small square in the right angle. So right here, this is called a right triangle, because it has one angle that's 90 degrees. Okay, and we show that by that little square in there. Okay, an obtuse triangle, remember obtuse was greater than 90 degrees, right? So it has to have that one angle right here that's greater than 90. It has to have one of those. Okay, it also has 2 baby ones here too, doesn't it? It has this guy and this guy, but it has to have one angle that's greater than 90 degrees, and that makes it an obtuse triangle. Okay, the third one is an acute triangle. Remember, acute is less than 90 degrees, and that has to be an acute triangle, it has to have 3 acute angles. So here's one that's less than 90. Can you highlight that? Here's another one that's less than 90 degrees, and a third one that's less than 90 degrees. Has to have all 3 of those. When we were up here, it only had to have one obtuse angle, didn't it? And one right angle. But when you get to the acute, all of the angles have to be less than 90. So just writing in and circling and doing the things that I did up there. Okay, let's look at number 1. You can also use the letters to write and talk about the triangles. The triangle QRS is right here. Name its 3 angles. So we are going to name it because we can use our little sign for angle. Remember that? For the triangle QRS. So I'm going to name it in different ways. Okay, so I can remember how I talked about you can start with any letter and go around. You can't skip letters. Okay, so I'm going to start with Q. Okay, and I know that I can go QRS, right? So I'm going to write down angle QRS, make my little angle sign. So I'm going to do my angle sign again, but I'm going to go the other way. Instead of going QRS, I'm going to go QSR. Okay, so you're going to take each letter and go both ways. Okay, so I'm going to start with the R next. I'm going to say angle RSQ, going right around the triangle. But now go the other way with R. Go angle RQS. Okay, so I'm going both ways starting. So what letter do I have left? I've done Q and I've done R. So the only letter I have left is S. So I want you to go both ways starting with S and finish writing in those letters there. Okay, you can do it. And then when I get to number 2, it says, what kind of triangle is QRS? How do you know? Well, remember my choices up here? Is it a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, or an acute triangle? Well, I see something in there that's giving us a clue as to which triangle it is. Do you see something that gives us a clue? This little square right here tells us that it is a right triangle. Okay. And how do you know? Because it has one angle that's 90 degrees. Okay. You don't have to write that one down because we already circled it, didn't we? It has one angle that's 90 degrees. Now, at the bottom, it says draw and label all three of these. So you're going to draw, and hint, hint, there's one of every kind right up here, okay? So you're going to label them. I'm going to label them right, and you can use the lines to help you draw it. Then I'm going to draw an acute one, and then I'm going to draw an obtuse one. And if you're getting confused, remember that the right one has to have that little square in the corner, doesn't it? But I can look right up at the top of my paper on the right to draw those. Remember, the right triangle has the square in the corner. The obtuse has to have one big angle. Do you see how it has this big one that we talked about right here? Okay, so there's a picture of each one of them up there. Okay, so that will help you. So do each of those. You can color them if you want, and then meet me on page 408. Here we are. So we are going to be naming the angles, or naming the triangles. So our three triangles choices are acute. We're going to write them up at the top here, guys. Here's our three choices: acute, right, and obtuse. I'm not going to make you explain your thinking, okay? So I'm just, excuse me, I'm not going to, so you just need to write what the triangle is, okay? So look at it, and then remember, you have to remember what each one is. Remember that on the right, it has to have the square. Obtuse has to have an angle that's greater than 90 degrees. Acute has to have three angles that are less than 90. Sorry, that's not super neat. Less than 90 degrees. So if it has three baby angles, it's acute. If it has a square in the corner, it's right. If it has a big monster angle, it's obtuse. So we're going to show you one of each. Okay, let's look at number 20. Okay, so go ahead and just kind of like highlight your little angles here. So those are three angles, and they're all less than 90. Okay, if you put your palms together and make them, they're all less than 90. So that would be an acute triangle. Okay, you just need to write the word. Number 21, I'm seeing this, so I know right away it has that one angle that's 90 degrees, so I know it's a right triangle. On number 22, okay, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a big monster angle. I'd have to open my palms up really big, so I know that's an obtuse angle. It has to have one angle that's greater than 90, okay? So I want you, we're not going to do this part down here, but I want you to label what each triangle is, and then you will be done for today. Thanks, guys.